way the world's set up right now.
It is. It just hates everywhere you turn. It's like, how dare you be a man?
I'm telling you, man.
Make yourself weaker. Make yourself weaker.
Yeah, absolutely. Man is like the enemy. Oh, do you know whose stuff I came across recently? I don't know if you heard of Jesse Lee Peterson?
No.
He's hilarious. He'll be talking to a guy and he'll just be like, Beta! that's like what
Oh,
it is.
him! Oh, yeah, him. Yeah.
You know him?
Isn't it Reverend Jesse?
Yeah, he's a reverend. He was saying that basically, say again?
He's cute.
He was saying that basically man's nature is moral and woman's is immoral. It was just a really interesting take, which I haven't really heard before. He was saying that basically love comes through God to the man, and then through the man to the woman, and then through the woman to the kids. And so when the man's not there, the woman kind of doesn't have that balance because the energy isn't coming from the man. So then she tends to give all her emotional stuff to a kid as a single mother, and then the kid will grow up a lot of times with a lot of just different complex emotions, anger, hate, and all this other stuff. And statistics are showing now that children that come from two parents or a single father have better outcomes than those that come from a single mother in terms of just how they function, chance, in terms of like possibilities of them committing crime and being happy, successful, mentally well, all this other stuff. It's fascinating.
Do you realize that the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, he's a massive troll? A lot of times it says he's fine, don't get me wrong. But when he gets like a guest, he says things just to trigger their emotions so they can get an emotional response from them, because it's good for the camera. Because in the nature of entertainment, controversy creates cash.
Absolutely.
So he needs to have someone have a go at him, or there needs to be an argument and or banter.
Okay.
For more likes to be had. But he's not wrong about the family dynamic. It's true. It's absolutely
true. It made
true.
perfect sense to me.
Yeah, because you're a logical human being. Logic is your language. You get logic. You get 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. Cool. I can work with that. It's not like I feel like it should be 2 + 2 is 3 because no, it's logic. Logically, 1 + 1 is 2.
And we see the results of it, like decades of single mothers. Like we could see the results of it now in the men today. Like the amount of emotional, feminine shit that's going on.
Absent fatherism.
What in the fatherless behavior is this? As someone said recently, I was dying. Bro, look out how many times you're gonna be able to drop that bar. Over the course of the next week.
If it were me, I would drop it every half hour.
I've been literally saying it out loud walking around lately. What in the fatherless behavior is this? There's just evidence of that everywhere.
See, well, here's what I've learned personally from personal experiences, right? It's not just because someone's from a single parent household that things go bad or things go wrong. No, there are a lot more effects in that. For example, you can have the perfect household, all right? The perfect household, mother, father, brother, sister, cousins, everything is perfect.
Absolutely.
Right? And they're raised the right way, or the perfect way, what do you want to call it?
Go on.
But then, so you as a parent, you can give them the right words, the right tools, right?
Absolutely.
But then there's some other person that they look up to in school or something, and this person is constantly saying a negative term or speak or something is always not right. It's always not right. Yeah. That's going to affect the psyche.
Yeah, or the kid could just be fucked up. Like, there's some kids... No, let's keep it real. Some people, even with the best influences, still end up being a disaster.
I can't get it fucked up.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, no way. I didn't even realize. That's hilarious.
We've been recording for like 4 minutes, bro. We've been recording for like 4 minutes. Alright.
You know what I'm saying, though? Some people could be given all of the best advantages and still...
I know exactly what you're saying. Just Cruising, Season 2, Episode 4.
Oh, we got sunshine.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. So, today's I'm Batman.
I didn't expect to be. I didn't expect to be down to the t-shirt, but it's woo.
Surprisingly warm today. So today's convo/topic. Just Cruising episode, season 2, episode 4.
I thought you forgot.
Kevla Kess, Dr. Love, Sunny Side Up.
Jeez.
Yes, sir. Today's topic, please, sir. Elaborate.
I would like to speak about. Sorry, people can't even see us.
That's alright. They listen to us. They can hear us. We're good.
I would like to talk about. I'm trying to find the right words for this.
Just throw it out.
Ghettoification or ghettoisation of black people in particular. And by that, what I mean is the ghetto is something that. Okay, so the first mention of the term ghetto was the 1500s in Italy, and it was about these segregated spaces where they would put Jewish people. This is in the 1500s, like Venice, then Rome, I think later as well. That's where the word first comes from, ghettare, and it was people who were walled off from the rest of society, had sort of there's certain limits around their behaviour, movement, and all the rest of it, and the word is quite a nebulous term in a way, because there's different ways you could describe what is a ghetto. It could be the space, it could be the adjective. You know what I mean? You could say, "Oh, that behaviour is ghetto." Like the word itself, it's harder to define in a sense. But for the most part, we can kind of agree that ghetto is a space where people have less opportunity, often less money, are somewhat segregated from society, and that might be based on education, economic factors in terms of like low-paid jobs. It might also be certain policies in terms of housing and access to housing. But the point I'm trying to make is I see a lot of people who now seem to glorify that, and I can remember a time when the perception of that space from the people in it was, I want to get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want to be here. I want something better for myself and for my family. And I at this point, I think through a number of different factors, it's becoming a thing where people almost celebrate that impoverished state. Do you know what I mean? And hip-hop, which was really a powerful tool to create change and point out social issues, now it seems to be more like it's really cool that I'm doing this foolishness, that I'm living this life. Yeah, I'm from the projects and I'm shot in this. I'm do you know what I mean? And I just see this kind of ghetto mindset, and I've grown up. I've almost seen both worlds, because I went to a private school, so I saw kids from richer backgrounds, and I grew up with people in the hood. And what I saw was that the kids around me who I grew up with, in their search for an identity, they would really latch on to that identity, right? Like, I'm from here, I speak like this, like I've got my slang, I've got the way I dress. But it's such a small world, and it's such a small path in terms of your potential and who you are and who we are and what we are capable of, that it frustrates me sometimes. Like when I see a man riding around with a bonnet on, and this whole thing of just like wearing the stuff you should be wearing in your house out on the street, like the flip-flop things threw me off, and the sliders, I was a bit like, the
bonnet,
it's winter and you're wearing sliders, why? And now I'm seeing guys wearing bonnets now. Like, what in the fatherless behaviour? I told you. What in the fatherless behaviour is this?
Charlie.
I told you.
That was quick.
That term.
It didn't even take long.
Please spread that. What in the fatherless behaviour is this? It's relevant.
What in the fatherless behaviour is this?
Yeah, so that was a very long intro, but
that's good, man. That's a topic, right? It's awesome. But was gonna say earlier is that some people have been raised by the perfect family, but that's one thing that people don't understand is like your parents are not perfect. Your mom, your dad, your cousin, your uncle, they're not perfect. Everyone has something in their family. Also, another thing, just because you've been raised with a man in the house does not mean the man was the man. That makes sense. So if you've been raised with the idea or ideology that, oh, happy wife, happy life.
Oh, God.
Does that make sense? So imagine you as a child growing up in a household where that's the term of that's the coin phrase.
That's
where,
the norm.
Where the man who's supposed to have raised the young boys as a man, keeps telling the boy, oh, happy wife, happy life, which basically means, oh, I don't mind being unhappy and sad and unfed and blah, 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 as long as mommy is happy. So this boy now grows up thinking, okay, this is the norm. That the man is not supposed to be happy or content or any whatever. He's just supposed to be a work mule. Gets up, goes to work morning to night, gets back home, doesn't get what he wants and or needs. As long as mommy is happy, we're good. Does that make sense? Because I've seen that as well. We've all seen both sides. We've seen the sides where, okay, he the man. I've seen sides where she the man. So
usually she the man though. Let's keep it real. Like for the most part, I think when you talk about norms, I think the woman being the boss is more the norm nowadays. Like the dad's usually the guy that just kind of says yes dear, okay dear, okay. He just kind of sits there and just takes it. Just been beaten down.
I've seen both sides. I've
seen both, but more often than not, I've
the-
seen the woman. But go ahead.
No, that's it. I've seen both sides of where it's a very yes there household, and I've seen it go badly. Because like for both sides, there's an extreme. So it does not mean that every side that's like that is gonna end up in shambles. It's just that every once in a while. So the yes there guys, they don't exactly put their pants on until mommy goes too far, until the wife has pushed the bar way too far, and the man goes, yo, you need to sit down and just chill. I give you the yes there treatment just because I want to make you feel good, but don't play with me. And the wife now dials it back and goes, okay, my bad, you're the man, for like 5 minutes, and then she's back on it again. And then I've seen the other side as well where the man is for lack of a better word, overbearing.
Okay.
Overbearing and
too much.
Yeah, way too much. We're drunk with power.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Where there's no one to check him and go, darling, you're going too far, you're doing too much. And just pushing and pushing, and then it gets way out of hand. Before we realize it, everyone goes, how did we get here? It went step by step, bit by bit. So how do we deal with this ghetto situation? First off, before we deal with it, we have to recognize it, right? So you can't just deal with the situation without knowing what the situation is, right? So what is this ghetto-esque situation or thing going on?
In my opinion, there's a number of factors. One, and I'm glad we ended up talking about what in the fatherless behaviour, because I think this is a huge contributing factor. In a lot of these households, there isn't a strong, positive kind of male presence, and for several generations, in some cases, women have been the head of the family, the matriarch, and so. And this is just my perspective on it, but I think without that clear guidance, it's much easier for people to grow up in a more feminine energy. And feminine energy, in my opinion, is more prone to being led by an external power, so to speak. So without the presence of that father figure, then the influences then become what the external environment, the people that are around. It might be people in the neighborhood who aren't particularly great role models. It's music, it's culture, it's all these things that are going to tell you who you are. Because as one of the things you said to me was like when you're looking on screen and watching TV and stuff, the people that look like you are the ones who you're going to identify with. And so if you're growing up in that environment, and then you've got the people around you who are doing certain things, and then you've got, what in the fatherless behavior is this?
So basic. Sorry, we just a lady just walked past us, a young girl, and she just looked very, very BBL'd up, ridiculous. Like
It didn't even look.
It just looked
good.
wrong. So, thank you. Just segue this one to it. Men, not males, men, real men don't like BBL. Don't. Men don't like facial surgery,
No.
facelift. Men.
Yeah,
A few
Botox.
boys do because of the shine of it, but men who actually are on their grind, who actually are the kind of men that women want to know or that society wants, don't like BBL. It's just stupid. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all good. So I think that's a big factor, just like the family structure or lack thereof, a strong family structure. There's this idea that, it takes a village and all the rest of it. And yeah, absolutely, it's great for a kid to have lots of different influences. But I think ultimately we work better when we're together. You got the man and the woman together with their combined superpowers pouring into that kid. I think those are big elements. And then culture, media, certain socioeconomic factors where people are going to think, okay, well, I could do something illegal, make more money quicker. Although that usually leads to disaster anyway, but it becomes this identity, like I say, for a lot of people, where it's like, I've met kids who are super intelligent, who've gone down that path because they were like, I'm not working at McDonald's, or I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that, and I understand their perspective, and yeah, maybe they do need money, but it's not the most, how can I put it, reliable investment. You know what I mean? Like, you're really, chances of you not getting killed or going to prison are slim, man. Chances are it's going to end in tears anyway.
Bro, what is wrong with McDonald's?
Say again?
What is wrong with McDonald's, working at McDonald's?
I didn't say there is anything working at McDonald's, but I think, especially now in the time we're in, where image is such a big thing, like how you look to people, the social media age, I think, has really just taken stuff to another level, where people want to be showing themselves in a certain way, and their pride and their ego is going to be like, no, I'm not going to do that job.
Yeah, because it's beneath me.
It's beneath.
Meanwhile, you have no experience whatsoever. You have no experience, no life experience, no mob experience whatsoever. But because
You have entitlement.
you have entitlement, but because you look bad on the ground with a McDonald's shirt on, it's beneath you. It's not beneath you. It's a paying job. It's a good paying job. You go in there, you work. It's an open door job. You're not gonna be there for a lifetime, but you're just gonna go there and get some experience and learn it. I think if I had the chance, if I had the chance to be younger again, I would work. I wouldn't change a thing, actually. I will not change a thing, because every job I've done, every kind of work I've done, has given me the experience to be where I am today. So a lot of people don't understand that where you are, you want to, how do I put it? Wherever you're working, fire your boss.
I love that.
So wherever you're working, you want to imagine your boss is fired. and that basically means that you need to learn fire manager. You need to learn everything about the job you're working, in and out, back and forth, the back to forth, everything, like the stock take, who you have to call for the next delivery, what happens in the admin. You want to learn everything, because that's the key thing about your job. You want to get the experience of that. Once you've got that experience, once you know how to make that thing work from back to front, front up and down, it's a lot easier to go and do yours your own, because you've learned it.
I like that. You're managing yourself.
You are managing yourself because you have fired your manager. A lot of us tend to just go, oh, I'm just working for £12 an hour, boom. But no, you want to fire your boss. You want to imagine they're not there. You learn everything, and guess what? Make yourself the Mr. Go-To. Which is, if there's a problem with something in that workplace, you need to be the first person they go to. That's key. If you want game, you want to make yourself Mr. Go-To. And this is the same thing in your life as well. If you are not the first person someone calls in an emergency, you ain't shit. I'll say it again. If you are not the first person someone calls in an emergency, you ain't shit. Make yourself Mr. Go-To. Make yourself the first person they call. So you can't just sit down there and demand it like you're entitled it. No. Become that by your actions. Because that's all the same thing. You be that person that, oh, I'm the first person they go to. When I was a lot younger, and I used to like comics, cartoons, everything. Dr. Doom. See, why are you smiling?
Because most people will be like, oh, like Superman.
No. I like the villains.
I like Dr. Doom.
The villains on point. Here's why. Dr. Doom, megalomaniac. But he was right, the whole time. He would go, say for example, and give a superhero's name. Say Spider-Man has an issue with something. He goes to the Fantastic Four and they can't fix it. Now that they can't fix it, Spider-Man now goes to Dr. Doom and goes, Dr. Doom, fix it. And Doom is pissed. And Doom kicks his ass. Do you know why he's pissed? He says, you should have come to me first. The fact that you didn't come to me first is insulting to me. I'm the Mr. Go-To guy.
I love that.
You don't go to somebody, you don't go to me second. And as a progressive man, the more I've experienced and done in my life, whenever anybody comes to me second, I take that as a personal insult. I won't tell them, but for me, I just demote them. If I'm not the first person you come out to, yeah, go to that person. Because I strive as much as I can to make myself the Mr. Go-To. As we should all do. Everyone. So the same thing, that's some application for your business, for your job, for where you're working. You've got to know everything back and forth, up and down, because that makes you a Mr. Go-To. That means you are an expert in that. And once you become an expert in that, it's a lot easier to do you. Because everyone now looks at you and goes, cool, he's got this. Even without saying a word, there's the vibe you get around you. It's like, you have it.
They just leave you to do what you're doing.
You are progressive and productive. You're the man. You've got this. You don't have to say, I'm the man. No, you're the man. Everyone sees you're the man. You're in boss mode. Dude, it's that.
I think that's a really powerful perspective. What I definitely agree with. And a lot of times, those opportunities for learning and growth are there in those different spaces if your mind's geared that way. Like you say, I find the average person shows up for the job, they know what their rate is, and they're just trying to do the minimum necessary to keep the job. But with that perspective, you can get so much more out of that experience and give so much more to it as well. Because let's say we take the McDonald's example, right? Okay, most people are going to be like, oh, this is a dead-end job, there's no point being here, blah, blah, blah. Well, the reality is, you're going to have to deal with a lot of people. So there's an opportunity there to learn a lot about customer service and communication, right? You're going to be dealing with difficult people as well. You're going to get rude people. So you're going to have to learn to do it well. There's an opportunity to learn like how to manage your emotions, how to deal with stress, how to essentially, deal with customer service. Like, how do you give value to someone? How do you give someone a positive customer experience? And there's an opportunity there to look at systems. Like, one of the reasons McDonald's is so successful is because you could get a complete idiot to do the job. Like, they've simplified the system so much and standardized it so much that it's like, okay, if you're on fries, you're doing this. If you're in this section, you're doing that. If you're on this, you're doing that. And so there's an opportunity there to learn and go, okay, this is how a system works. So the system is, okay, this goes to here, this goes to here, this goes to here. This shortens the time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you're doing your own thing, what systems can you create? What can you learn? And I'm sure there's a bunch of other different things that are unique. Because it wouldn't be, let's keep it real, it wouldn't be that successful if they didn't have this shit on point to a degree. Even though I don't go there and I would not touch that food if you paid me to.
But people do.
But people do.
Even the guys who own it don't eat their own food. But there's a market for it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
People do. And that's the magic about it. It's not what you like, it's what the customer wants. So, okay, here you go, take it. Like right now, we're driving past Peckham. We're in Peckham.
Bro, sorry, look at this advert.
So there's an advert on the
What in the fatherless behavior?
There's a billboard, there's a massive billboard, and it says "Fill your all."
But like,
so basically, there's a lady who is doing a pose, and a VJJ is pointing out to the whole of Peckham.
oh my
But
goodness.
if you have no community, you can't fight it. So we're in Peckham right now. And there's a Nigerian restaurant in Peckham being run by non-Nigerians, and it sells a lot. It keeps getting sold out because these guys, the guys who sell the Nigerian food, they don't eat the food. They would not eat the food if you force them to. They don't eat the food. But they understand customer service, presentation. They understand the area they're in. They know what the customer wants and what the customer needs. So what do? They give the customers excellent customer service, and based on the postcode where they are, they sell in exactly what the guys they need, and they're good. They're outselling the other Nigerian shops around there because it's what it is. They don't eat the food. They don't give a damn about the food. But they know that, oh, hold on. To catch honey, to catch flies, use honey, not crab.
Where are these guys from that own the place?
Indian.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've seen the same thing on the road by my mum's place. I think I spoke about this once before. There's a West Indian restaurant there.
Yeah.
And it kind of pains me to say it, but they're smashing it. And the reason I say it pains me to say it is not that I don't want to see people do well or whatever, but it annoys me that even after all of these decades, I still see the same lackluster level of customer service most West Indian restaurants. Like, it's a running joke now that if you go into a West Indian restaurant, you're gonna get abused.
The food is not there. It's there, but it's not there. You're gonna get abused. If you buy food, it will take 20 minutes to come.
Yeah, sometimes there's food that's not even on the menu, or the price isn't there, and it just feels like they're just making up prices on the spot based on what they think they can get you to pay. It's a mess.
And it's like haggling prices.
Yeah, and the place ain't clean. Like, you go in there, you don't want to sit down and because it's just a couple nasty plastic chairs and shit. Like, it's just.
See, but this is the thing though. So the reason that's happening is because the people who are working there do not have the mindset of fire your manager.
They definitely don't.
You see what I'm saying? So once your mind is everything. How you think is everything. What you think of is everything. The way you design your brain is everything. You cannot complain about how the world is being unfair to you. When you change the way you think, you change the way you act and become. And what happens is the world will change its way that it acts and reacts to you. That's a constant. It's that simple. I could not write it down any better. You change the way you think, you change the way you move, your vibe, your frequency changes. Your frequency changes, and the way the world reacts to you would ultimately change. Dude, I can stand outside anywhere, any shop, and anyone walking past me will think I own that shop. Boss vibe. It's that simple. I don't say a word. I don't look like a customer. I look like the owner of the shop. Boss vibe.
Yeah, you're in that.
I'm there.
In that headspace.
I'm always there. I'm always there. I'm always there. So it looks that way. Without a word being said, that's the vibe. It's that simple. You couldn't fake it if you tried. Small things. Now here's what's funny. We've been talking about the past 5 minutes about, think about it in a way that you are the boss. You fire the manager, so you're now doing everything. Do you know what's happening? You've stopped thinking about ghetto life because you've now changed your prime directive. It's no longer about where I was. It's about where I am, where I want to be. Where I am, where I need to be. It's about, okay, today's here, tomorrow is there. So it's no longer holding on to yesteryears and go, oh, this was me, woe is me, blah, blah, blah. No, it's now about, okay, this is where we are, this is where we need to be. And best believe you me, when you are constantly going, okay, this is how I'm working about everything else, believe you me, everything will point to which direction. It will change for you. It's a constant. It is what it is. It's just a constant. It can't be helped. That's the game. That's the game. That's the cure. That's the cure for the disease. If you want to cure something, change the way they think. That's one step. You change the way the people think. Another thing is to lead by example. I can say something all day, every day. I can sing the same hymn every day. If I'm not doing, I'm talking crap. If I'm not physically doing something, if I'm not making a change of myself, if I'm not in the action or being productive, if I have no drive or goal, everything I say is useless. If I say to everyone, oh, you guys, you've got to do better, blah, 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 but I'm not myself physically doing better, no one cares.
You gotta be progressive, man.
Even if it's just by 1%.
You have to be progressive. I find that now, if a day passes and I don't feel like there's been any kind of step forward, it's just, it feels like a complete waste.
Question though, how does one know, the royal one, how does one know when one is not being progressive? Or know that one is not being progressive?
For me, it's pretty easy because I have goals, aspirations, and I measure my progress in that way. Like, which actions did I take related to moving towards those things? And so I could literally tick it off, like, did I get this done or didn't I get it done? And also, just within myself, I can feel that sense of, like, stagnancy if there ain't any growth, if there ain't any progress. It just feels like less aliveness. I can feel that sense of, like, ugh.
Okay.
What about you?
How does a regular Jack know that they're not being progressive? I got you. Here's how. Every day looks the same. That's how. When you know you're stuck in a rut, you know because every day is the same. You're not doing anything different. You're doing the same damn thing. You're not challenging yourself. You're not pushing further. You ain't doing anything. Every day is the same. You finish what you do and you go home to watch TV, watch EastEnders, whatever you want to watch.
So the kind of same shit, different day.
Same shit, different day
Mentality.
But guess what? Those who are doing the same shit different day don't even know they're doing it. Because the next day on that same TV show, oh, guess what? Phil's got this girl pregnant again. Oh my God. So something on TV has changed. You haven't. But your brain is being fed, oh, cool, that's change.
Yeah.
It's not the same episode.
And also, if they're surrounded by people that are on the same kind of wave, and you tend to attract people that are on the same wave as you. So if you're around other people and they're also not really progressing,
you ain't going nowhere.
It's going to be the norm for you.
It is better to be alone and grow than to be around people who are aggressive, because they will always pull you down. They will always pull you down. You can fight for as long as you can, but you can't fight the wave. They will always pull you down. It's just a norm. So what you do is, instead of you complaining about the circus, just don't go to the circus. Oh, I don't like the clowns. Just don't go to the circus. Oh, but no, don't go to the circus. Go home. Go somewhere else. Go and do something else. Just get out of there. It's just, I say it's simple, right? It's easy. Easier said than done, right?
Time alone is really important, though. It's really important, because there is so many distractions, and for you to connect with yourself and see what's going on with you and where you're at and what you need, you can't do that if you're surrounded by people all the time, or you're constantly getting input like from these devices. Like recently, I've been tapping into flight mode more and more. It's the way forward. And turning the thing off more as well. Like as I said to you earlier, I'm not sure if this is before or after we started recording, but there's a neuroscientist called Andrew Huberman, and he does some really good content actually. I've seen him on YouTube, and he was talking about how carrying this in your pocket reduces sperm count and testosterone. I'm sure there's lots of other harmful effects with the EMF that's coming out of these things, but yeah, like I'm finding when you are on flight mode, it disconnects you from that whole matrix, and then it's easier to just lock into other stuff, whether it's tuning into what you want to do or doing things that are more productive. I'm reading more, but I can definitely feel how my attention, it's almost like I need to retrain it, because I'll be reading and then my brain will be like, oh, Google that. I'm like, no. The phone's on flight mode, we're reading. Mine will be like, oh, okay. And then there'll be some other thing will pop into my head to do. So I think these devices can train the mind into distraction.
I write my stuff down. So if there's a distraction, I don't.
Oh, you write it down?
Yeah, pen and paper.
That's clever, actually, because now it's not taking up space in your head.
It's not.
It's very clever. Loop's closed.
And if I come back to that in an hour or 2 hours time, it's gonna be more or less important.
That's really good.
Because in the moment we go, oh yeah, it's a priority. Is it though? Is it?
You know what I had to do that with? I used to have this book buying habit where I was like, it was a problem, man. Like I was like addicted to buying books, and I realized it was because I was acting on impulse. And so I'd go, okay, so you say you want that book, let's see. And I'd either put it on a wish list or I'd note it down, but I wouldn't buy it then. And what I found was 99% of the time when I left it a day or a week or whatever, I realized I didn't need it. It was just the dopamine hit of like
impulse buying.
Yeah, it was just the dopamine hit of I want it, I get it, oh click, got it, it's mine. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even read a lot of the books because I couldn't keep up with the pace that I was purchasing back. But yeah, I don't do that now.
But that's the magic. That's why I say it's better to write it down, because you write it down, you pace yourself. You write it down, you're good.
It's good.
It's not you don't forget it, but it's not there because it's already written down. So you in your pocket one day you go, oh, I've done that. Oh, I haven't done that. So I have lots of to-do lists, but it's good to have lots of it because that shows me that at that point in time I actually thought that was important. It's not priority one. Priority one is like, okay, cool. I've got to go. We check it and we go. As simple as. Simple as.
I think connecting this to the ghettoisation, I think you could almost connect social media to this, because wow, I'm just starting to see this in a bigger sense. Actually, I'm just unpacking it now in my brain. But when I talk about the ghettoisation, what I'm talking about in a lot of ways is the promotion of things that are of a lower nature, not of a higher nature.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? In terms of who we are and what our capabilities are.
Right.
And so I can see that across the board. Whether it's the music we see, which is promoting crime, sex, violence, fatherless behaviour, or it's... I'm rinsing that, I don't care. I can say that to people get tired of it. Or it's social media, which does the same kind of a thing, right? If you go on social media and you put up a post and it's about health, it's about, productive, positive things, it won't get the same clicks and it won't get the same exposure in your feed as it would if you put up a video of yourself twerking, or you put up a video of yourself with you're topless or whatever. So there's a kind of ghettoisation happening on a number of different levels, man. And same I find with entertainment too. To find things that are truly inspiring and uplifting is much harder than it once was. Yesterday I was like, I'm in the mood for a documentary. So I went to the documentary section and I'm looking around and it's, this athlete that killed someone, this it's all killers, it's all, do you know what I mean? It's all crime. I had to look, but I found something. It was called 14 Peaks. It was about this climber who summited the 14 highest mountains in 7. He did it in 6 months. He was aiming for 7. And the previous record was 7 years. This guy did it in 7 months. He's from Nepal.
Impressive.
He trained as a Gurkha. He was a Gurkha, joined special forces in the UK, and then went into mountain climbing after that. But yeah, I find finding stuff which is of a higher nature, which is going to uplift the mind, is harder. It's much easier to find the messy stuff, to find the people arguing or fighting or being controversial. So there's a kind of ghettoisation happening on all these different levels. Same with food, where the stuff which isn't really in your best interest is what's being promoted the most.
It's fun. It's fun because it's part of the impulse buying thing. Is the endorphin release, is the quick grab, is the quick fix.
Yeah.
We're not actually as a collective. We're not actually looking out for the answer. We're not. If you think about it, most people don't want the answer. They don't want the answer. They just want a room to complain.
Because there's responsibility. Sorry, go ahead. No, I was going to say that with the answer comes responsibility. Like yesterday, I took myself out for like a quick bite, sitting down, having some food, taking some notes, and I finished up, and this young lady came to like give me the check and stuff. I think she thought I was going to run off about paying because she came quick, man. Like I got up and I was putting my check up. Check down. I was like, okay.
Black man.
Yeah. Right. So I took my stuff out. I said, do you take cash? And they said, oh, no, we don't take cash. I said, yeah. I said, they're trying to get rid of the cash. I go, you heard about the new digital currency? And she looked at me, she went, no. I said, the Bank of England's released a digital currency. I said, so all your transactions will be tracked moving forward. And I could see her face was like, I don't want to deal with this information. Like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to think about it. I'm having a perfectly fine day.
Trying to go home and sleep.
Could you just not? Could you not do this? Could you not hit me with this reality, please? And I was looking at her and I was thinking, this is how most humans are. Like, they don't want to think about stuff and they don't want the responsibility of it.
Is that not cognitive dissonance?
Big time. Like when I was leaving, I gave her the receipt back and I said, oh, thank you, the food is good. But her whole energy was just like, yeah. Just get the fuck out of it. I don't want to look at you. Like, I don't want to engage. It was like,
but it makes sense though.
So funny compared to when she first walked up, but she was like, hey.
It makes sense because a lot of people are recovering from the past 3 years.
Oh,
and are slowly just getting back on their feet, slowly. And all of a sudden, we've just got this whole new episode, and it's like, what? Oh, I'm not even ready for this. And then this happens now, and then you're telling me that money's gonna disappear, and you're telling me this. So it's to the normal eye, it's quite stressful. It's right to the normal eye. But if you are already in the system and you are just constantly working and doing and moving, it's easy for you to adapt. And that's the thing. Change is constant. A lot of people today are too comfortable with being comfortable, that the moment you introduce change in their life, they will fight you in any way, shape, and or form possible just to keep that same thing, because they don't want to change, because they fear change. It's a fear thing. The unknown. You know,
yeah.
I'm so used to being here. Oh no. This is now the unknown. I cannot deal with the unknown. That's what they say themselves. You know, and then when that happens, they try to mirror that or project it upon you. Because if I'm too worried about change, instead of me admitting to myself again accountability, responsibility, I start saying to you, what's your problem with change? It's actually my problem with change. It is what it is. Your change, no matter what happens to the system will change. But again, it goes back to the boss thing, right? You fire your manager, you start handling all these things. If you have the ability to see your work in this way, wherever you land in, you can handle it. Now, thank you, Ghettoisation. Typical example of that whole fire manager thing. Pink. Pink and every other major white entertainer that started the first album with black people. There's a documentary about Pink, and it was the Face Records that signed their first, Babyface. Okay. When they first started, it was 3 of them. She and 2 other girls, 3 of them. And they were like, nah, it's not gonna work. They say they kept her because she was the white girl that sounded black. Does that make sense? She was the white girl that sounded ghetto and no black. Okay. Yes, so that's why they kept her. So she now released her first album. Remember her first album? Every single video, what did you see in it? Black guys. Right. All her boyfriends were black. Her best friends were black. Her dance crew were black. She was the white girl, but was black, everything. Dating black guys, doing this and that. Hip hopping the whole life out. Right? Yeah. Look at her today. She got in the business, fired the manager, as in, learned the business up, down, left, right, in, out, side to side. Learn how the game runs. When she now became her own boss, what did she do? Did what she did. Which is what? Go back to her style. This is I want like country music. I want this kind of music. I want this kind of guys.
She's making country now.
No, not like like white music. makes sense. Whatever.
I get it. So basically, she made what she kind of had to make, and presented it in a certain way until she could.
That's the hustle.
Do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
Thank you.
I think that's what
Justin Timberlake. Same thing. His first album, lots of JT featuring Nelly, featuring clips, featuring am I lying though? Every other single that he had, black girlfriend rapping in the background, was some black guy in the background rapping. Black dancers, so everyone goes, oh cool. Like, meanwhile, the whole time he was learning the ropes from Timberland, up and down, the this, the that, learning everything. He wasn't stupid. So he go into an industry, and he started from the bottom, and he learned deep, learned everything. They all did. But then, so you go to a job, you learn the job, you learn the ins, the outs of everything. Because one day you will leave that job. But the most important things about the jobs you can get are your experience and your connects. It's not how much you're getting paid. It's how much knowledge you are getting from that, and how many contacts you get for that. So your experience counts, your connects count. Because if you leave that place today, those guys, the delivery guys, the stock guys, the admin guys, those guys, you will need to call them tomorrow and go, yo, it's me, Kes. I need blah 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 from you. How much is that gonna cost you? It's game. It's game. Everywhere, every major place that I've worked in, that's how I've done it. It's the same damn thing. That's how I've done it. It's not much I get paid. It's basically, who do you know from here? How are you gonna move from here to here? You get your connects, get your contacts, and you learn the ins and outs of that job. It's not just, I'm just here sitting out there working. No. How does that job work? How does that thing rotate on itself? How many people need to be active for that to be rotating regularly? Good. If that one goes off the board, what happens? If you see what I'm saying? You've learned everything. In doing this, you are not even entertaining the ghettoisation in any way, shape, and or form at all. And guess what? While you're doing this, there's someone else behind you watching you do it and how it's done. And when you're doing that, what you're gonna do? You pay it forward. Which is what? You teach someone behind you. Someone who has not learned the game, you teach them that. You say, nah, here's how you do it, Bob. You go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's how you do it. You're good. That's how you rebuild your community. That's how you build your manhood, per se.
Bars.
Bars are good. That's the truth. It's just that. And now what's interesting, in all this I'm saying, not once have I talked about chasing chicks. It's true. Not once. Because the ghettoisation of things is mainly from the how many girls can you get? How many girls can you pull? How many is that? When you're out there pulling girls, what are you not doing? You are not on your purpose. You are not on your grind. You are not doing what needs to be done for a better tomorrow. You are not. When you are on your grind, you are not chasing girls. It's mental, right? Am I the one that's seeing this?
I hear what you're saying. I see what you're seeing. I would ask you, because I like playing devil's advocate.
Bam, bam, bam,
bam, bam, bam. How would you suggest a man combine that quest for his purpose with his relationships with women? Because, okay, on the one hand, some will say when you're becoming your best self and you're on your purpose, women are going to come anyway. Yeah, I definitely see an element of truth in that. However, you have some men who will pursue that purpose to the exclusion of that side, like completely. Like, I remember one friend of mine, very career-driven, very focused, and gave pretty much no attention to, well, friendships as well. Like his friendships and his relationships with women were really not a priority. And then later on, when he had to then deal with women, he was really unequipped because he didn't have the experience. So he was almost like, 30 years old, but almost like he was 18 because he didn't have that emotional intelligence. He didn't have the skill sets.
And he had the mental.
So how would you suggest a man combine those things?
Find your mentor. It's simple. Find your mentor. You're going to workforce. You need to get trained for that workforce. You're going for something. You've got trained for that. Find your mentor. Someone
a mentor for women. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. A mentor for women, because you can learn or you can learn. Exactly.
I think he means you can learn the hard way, or you can learn the.
We can do it the easy way or the hard way. You can learn or you can learn. So big difference between those two terms. Same thing, but the way I said it's different. You can learn what you can learn. You can get a mentor saying this is how human beings are. This is how men are. This is how women are. When men say this, they mean this. Women say this, they mean this. Because he knows it's game. It's gamed up. That's what it is. You can just go and just learn by yourself, learn by your mistakes. And I call it, there are mistakes, and then there are expensive mistakes. I don't mind mistakes. I don't do expensive mistakes, which is a mistake that will cost you a lot more than just money. We don't play them. So you can't just walk into the world like that, because if you don't know people, you get chopped and screwed easily.
Especially nowadays.
Everyone's getting cutthroat. You know, they run that, they'll jump you, get caught. You know, it's just there. Find your mentor. It's a lot harder today to find a mentor, because a lot of people today have been raised by the internet. They've had iPhones more than 10 years. So their thought pattern has changed. When we were a lot younger, if you wanted a mentor, you had to actually go out there to find a mentor. You had to physically go out there on your quest to find a mentor. Now it's on your phone. And because it's just right there, there is no urgency to it. You say, yeah, it's right there when I want to. It's right there. So you don't take it seriously until you get butt hurt, until something happens, and then you go, oh no.
Yeah.
It's that simple. A lot of men should be on their grind. We had this talk about last year about survival mode. That's what it is. If your paper is not stacked up, you're not doing it right. Focus on you being better, doing better. When your mind's on firing the boss, you start again, universe. You start being surrounded by the right people, because you have no choice but to have the right conversations. Imagine. So if you are ghettoized, your speech patterns, your questions, your answers are ghettoized. If you are at work, whatever job you're doing, if you are trying to understand how that company works, guess what? You don't even realize that you sound different, you talk different, you ask different questions. And because you have to ask different questions, you go to the right people for the questions. You see what I'm doing over there? You're now changing your circles without even realizing it. You talk to this person, that person tells you this, that. And guess what happens? Remember, this is the whole thing. Because you are firing your manager, you're going to work earlier. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
You're going to work earlier.
That's what managers do.
That's what managers do. Managers show up before their time. They see what's happening. You're going to work earlier. You see what's happening. Everything is changing just because you're like, okay, cool. I want to know how this thing works.
Opportunities come up as well.
There you go.
People start seeing you as a manager because you're behaving like a manager.
Mr. Go-To. You're the first person they go to, because they go, yeah, he's got this. The manager goes to you, goes, oh, cool, you've got this. Because you know what's happening. Then you can start doing your bragging points. If you want to keep working there, you can now start going, okay, pay me more. I do this. I know this. Pay me more. Boom. Or promote me. Full circle. You're on your grind. You have purpose. And because you are doing 1% better every day, you're doing more. It goes into the whole thing about, if you're working 40 hours, work 50. 50 hours, work 60. You're just adding one more hour into it. You're putting the grind into it. Bit by bit, you're getting better. Bro, that's the way out. Because when you start doing that, you're now becoming an action man. A man of action. And because you're a man of action, you cannot stand people who talk and don't take action. It doesn't make sense. Because you now become a pragmatist. You have the answer to it. So, okay, here you go. Boom. Oh, but blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. My time is important. Here's the answer to the question. And then you give the answer. Once you give the answer, you now realize who they are. Are they the ones that want the answer, or they want a room to complain in? Because I've seen it many a time. I go, here you go, here's the answer, here's the solution. But dude, you've literally asked for the answer. I have given you the answer in 5 different forms and shapes. But no, let's just talk about this. Okay, cool. That's not my circle. Believe. Because if you stay there, you're wasting your time in the circus. That circus again. We don't do that. We don't play with clowns. We ain't clowns here. No clowns around here. Yeah. Fight me. That's the game. That's the game. People don't get that. People don't want to get that. So you remove yourself from that whole situation. No. Either you're being loquacious, laconic, or pragmatic. Either or. Which is one is you want to talk too much for no reason. One you just like when you only get to the point. Get to the point. People who have time to themselves, who have too much time, don't like to get to the point. And this is also one of the main reasons I don't like politics. Very, very straightforward, which is left is left, right is right. I can't do any in between. It's a yes or a no situation. We are or we're not situation. I can't do politics. I can't do long speeches. Just
I've never been able to connect with it, if I'm honest with you. Like and I understand it to a degree, but you know when someone's talking and you're looking at them and you know that you can just feel the incongruency between what they're saying, what they're trying to tell you, and their body language, and it's just not genuine. That whole thing, just as soon as I see that part of my brain, it just switches off. It's just like.
Have you ever been to a debate club?
Not a debate club, but I've seen debates and I've even taken part in a few. It's a long time now. But
go to a debate club. They will teach you how to debate. And once they teach you how to debate and you watch politics, you'll be like, Kuso Yaro! You mother. You're just there talking for talking's sake. Talking points.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And then you realize, so they're not babbling. They know what they're doing. They're just talking to waste the viewer's time. That's it. Regardless, they're gonna go and do what they want to do.
They're gonna go and do what they want to do.
We're doing airtime. That's what it's airtime.
It's a show.
And then you go, this is a circus.
It's a show. It's a performance.
You just leave. That's
what I'm saying.
That's it.
It's the lack of authenticity that I can't deal with.
If it's not yes or no, then
what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? What am I doing here?
More importantly,
what am I doing here?
More to the point.
Take that accountability and responsibility. Like, what am I doing here? I'm wasting my time. That makes sense. No, that's game. You get that. We're good to go. We're starting this gold. But yeah, I try as much as I can to help people focus on their grind. I had one of the young men last week talking about he's been promoted at work, he's making more money now. I said, yes, I told you last year, get your grind up. I said, good, but now don't forget your why. I go, what do you mean? I said, why do you want to get promoted? Why do you want to make more money? Why? That's the key to it. And I said, it's very important not to make money to get more girls. Don't do that. We're not doing that whole making more money to get more girls thing, because you say that or you think that, you lose your grind, your purpose, your ability to grow, be better, and do better. And as he said, he wants to live for his mom, blah, blah, blah. I said, that's good. At least you have something that's tangible. I said, but hold up, your mom is your past. Your kids are your future. So are we trying to make more money for your legacy in the future or for the past? Boom. Because your mother was an adult before you were born. So wherever choices she's landed in life, that's her problem. You being a nice person, that's good for you. Do not be nice, be necessary. Your grind today is for tomorrow. Understand that. It's that simple. Done. You got that. You got that solid. Well, it saddens me. It saddens me that a lot of our people, a lot of men, have never had enough the right guidance in their life, or they've been raised by televisions and music videos and a created character.
Yep.
Raised by avatars.
Yeah.
Well, athletes are avatars. Now think about it.
All of that.
When a man or a woman or anybody on television cannot actually say what they really want to say. And I don't
Which
mean
is everyone on television.
Yeah, that's my point. I don't mean swear, effing and blind. Just say, like, if an adult cannot voice their own personal opinion. Now bear in mind, if an adult cannot voice their own personal opinion of situations, which basically, if I vote blue, but my whole station is voting red, I can't say I vote blue. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're enslaved. It's mental enslavement. If you, as an adult, cannot voice your own opinion, not argue, just say, you know what? I like toast with peanut butter.
But the status quo is different. Yeah.
You're enslaved. You cannot lead the younger ones if you yourself cannot stand up for yourself. I say it, but it won't make sense to you until tomorrow. That's the truth. It will not make sense to many people until tomorrow. And tomorrow meaning like a few years from now. It will not make sense to you at all. It just won't. You will get it in time. You get it. Anyone that you see on media, on television, whatever, who is afraid to say how they really feel about a scenario or situation, you're being controlled. What does that mean? That means you're not in control. It means you're not the boss of yourself.
See it all the time. And the ironic thing is, these people are often presented to us as being
Leaders.
Something to aspire to.
Thank you.
You know, you see them on the red carpet. Do you know what I mean? You see them getting awards. They're presented as like, oh my God, these people are just like,
oh my God,
killing it.
Oh, he did the nasal thing. Oh my God.
That West Coast bullshit.
No, it's the high school girl talking, nasal talk.
Like,
oh my God.
they're presented as that, but the reality is they know what they can say and what they can't say, and they're not free. It's mad.
Because freedom is not free, mate.
Freedom ain't free.
No, mate.
Facts.
It costs you a lot. Sad reality, but it's a reality nonetheless. So yeah. On that note, today is the 14th of February, 2023.
Valentine's Day.
I like Valentine's Day because let me put it out there. I do not celebrate Valentine's Day. I just don't. I couldn't give a rat's backside about Valentine's Day. I don't. What I do, because today's a training day as well. What I do, I want to see the gentlemen who are going to train on Valentine's Day and the ones who are going to take the day off to go and satisfy their women on Valentine's Day. So it lets me know, as a mentor, as a guide, as a teacher, it lets me know which men I should take seriously throughout the whole year and which men I'm wasting my time on.
Interesting.
It's very simple. I do this every year, and every year I have a class I teach or something simple. I want to know who's on the grind and who's actually going to show up. I want to know who's going to go, okay, this is my purpose. This is my drive, and they show up. I want to know who is a hobbyist.
Yeah. I'm curious to see next time we do one of these. I wanna hear like
Like it's that simple.
who passed the test.
I am a thinker. I'm the mad thinker. People don't know my level of thinking at all. No, they don't have any clue about how my brain goes. No clue. But I like to pay close attention to these small details.
Yeah,
because I know who is serious and who's a hobbyist. It's fine. So the ones who are hobbyists, I don't expect to come at all. I don't. If you're a hobbyist, you're just for martial arts in general. A hobby is just, I see you on Tuesday next week. Bye, done, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those who are serious, they're the ones I'm looking at, and I go, are you truly serious, or are you just bragging serious? Because what I keep saying is, no matter how people say, is what they do that counts.
Yeah, it's the actions.
This is the show of what they do that counts. Because I won't tell anybody, hey, you coming today? No, I just want to see. I want to see your decision at your own time. Because if I'm gonna ask you, that's pressure. No pressure. Let me see your action without me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then after the Valentine's Day, I now know who I will take seriously. I now know who I will get out of bed at 2 in the morning for. I now know who I will give my time to. I now know who I'm going to give my unpaid time to. That's the game, brother. So yeah, that's my segue out.
Valentine's Day. Oof. I'm not involved.
No, we're not. Because if you really wanna go there with the Valentine's Day thing, here's how you go there. You don't really need one day of the year to show your partner you love them.
Exactly.
That's stupid. You stupid.
Exactly.
You show your partner you love them every damn day. And most especially, it's actually insulting to see a grown-ass adult doing all these pontifications of nonsensity, right? It is nonsensity because so it's only on this day you can give them flowers at your age.
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's almost like, well, it's a few different things. For one, it's great for businesses, right? They're gonna make tons of money. You're gonna charge people double or triple the amount. Yeah, same thing. Double or triple the amount what you would normally pay for the same stuff, which is just ridiculous. But then also, I think it's for those people that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, you haven't really been getting it done. Here's a day. It's almost like a reminder, like, oh, you're in a relationship, do something. Do you know what I mean? And if it comes to that, then I think you're kind of, you're fucking up.
Slacking, mate. Slacking.
Yeah, you should be handling business anyway.
Exactly. If you're handling your business, you would not need a one day. Moreover, how I see it is the masters are asses thing. So I'm doing all of this for you just because I was told to do it.
Also, though, I think sometimes men feel under pressure, to do something. Women also, women are very competitive as well, and so some women will be like, "Oh, so what did your man do for you for Valentine's Day?" And they don't want to be saying, "Oh, well, nothing."
Men need to constantly be under pressure and have to learn to say no. And that's important because there's the why. You have to know, why am I saying no? Because I've got things to do, things that will benefit us tomorrow.
Yep.
That's the game. So pressure is key, is vital to growth. If there's no pressure, you can't do push-ups. There's pressure, you can't do pull-ups or anything. That's pressure. You're working against pressure. So pressure is constant. Get into your pressure and tell someone no, buying you chocolate and biscuit one day, and then tomorrow, please. If you want to be romantic, do it on some random day out of nowhere.
Surprise her.
It works. Surprise. Here you go.
Surprise. Boom.
I was passing by Tesco. I thought about you. I was like, here you go, darling. Boom.
Yeah, that's how I do it. It's exactly how I do it. It'd be like, boom, some flowers or whatever. And it'd be like, oh, it's just a random
Everyone's getting flowers.
Random Thursday.
And now you're competing. Oh no, I have 5 flowers. Stacy has 6 flowers. Oh, Jack bought Karen 7 flowers. Oh, I had to chop the flower. Is it by force? Please.
To me, honestly, I think it's the most unromantic thing there is. Do you know what I mean? To have a designated day for romance. It's like, to me, that's the most unromantic shit that there is.
See, today must romance. Today you must be romantic. You must romance.
I don't care what mood you're in. I don't care what's going on in your relationship or your life.
No. Today you must romance.
You are that guy. It's like,
you are that guy.
Dead. Dead. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's the same as like Christmas in a way, right? It's like, okay, so now this one point of the year, it's peace on earth and goodwill to all men.
No, mate.
Now we're going to be generous.
It's Fast and Furious.
Now we're going to feed the homeless. It's like, what about the other 365 days?
So what's Christmas? Family.
Oh yeah, that too.
What in the Fast and Furious talking about? Family. Whatever, man. Just no. Stop it. I like my Christmas day at work. Just go to my work and just do my
yeah.
thing. Yeah, man.
I like training on Christmas Day. That's one of my things I like to do because I think everyone's getting fat right now.
And you are above the curve. You are beating everyone else out there that's not. I like that. I like that.
And I'm smugly doing something like healthy.
Yeah, look at me. I'm better than you.
Although this Christmas I wasn't at my best. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of ate a lot.
That's all right, Governor. That's all right.
But we back in the mix now.
Yep. All right. So this was good. It was emotional. Any 2 cents?
No, I think I'm good. Nothing more to add. We kind of bounced around a little bit, but I think I see how it all connects.
Same but different.
Yeah.
Fire, boss. It helps you. Your mindset is everything. Everything. You think about it, how you want to think it, but your mindset is everything. Right. This has been the Kevlar Kess and Dr. Love. It's been emotional. Thank you.